Guys, today we are going to be building a $1,000 gaming PC in 2026. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with the PC market, you know that prices are absolutely terrible right now. But we were still able to build a gaming PC that actually has all of the parts that are new, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so let's start with the CPU. The one that I'm using is the Ryzen 5 5600, which you can get for $148. Now, if you've been watching my PC videos, you know that I use this CPU a lot, but that's for a good reason. Now, this chip has 6 cores and 12 threads with a boost clock up to 4.4 gigahertz, meaning it can basically handle gaming, streaming, editing, basically anything you throw at it. It also comes with a Wraith Stealth cooler in the box, which is really nice to see. It basically means we don't have to go out and buy another CPU cooler. You can just use the one that it comes with. And it's still really relevant in 2026, especially with how high prices are for DDR5 RAM. You're basically getting a proven, mature platform that still has some upgrade paths if you do want to upgrade later. Now, if you told me 1 year ago that I was still recommending AM4 in 2026, I probably wouldn't believe you. But yeah, with the situation we're in, this is the best option we got. Now, another benefit of going with the Ryzen 5 5600 is actually the motherboards we get access to. Now, the one that I have is the Asus Prime B550M Wi-Fi Mark II, which you can get for $99. Now, the reason I say this is a good thing is because AM4 motherboards are really cheap. For example, this one pretty much has all the features that you need, but if you do want to go a little bit cheaper, there is the Gigabyte B550MK, which is going for $20 less. So if you're trying to save as much money as possible, it is definitely doable on this platform. Now, this board has dual M.2 slots and PCIe 4.0 support, so basically meaning we can run Gen 4 SSDs, and it also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, so you don't need to buy a separate wireless adapter, which is nice. And basically pairing this with the Ryzen 5 5600, it's going to pair really well. Okay, so I completely forgot that I have the boxes right beside me. I'm just kind of looking at it, but yeah, here so you guys can actually see it. But moving on now, we're going to get onto the very fun part, which is RAM. Now, the one that I have here is the T-Force Vulcan Z 16GB kit at 3200 megahertz, which you can get for $130 right now. Now, like I said, I will be going with all new parts, so usually what I do recommend is going on the used market to get RAM, but I just did want to see if you were trying to buy new RAM, what it would be like. And yeah, that is the current price for DDR4 RAM. But in terms of features, this is going to fit really well with the rest of the parts. It has XMP 2.0, which means you can just go in the BIOS and set it to 3200 megahertz. You don't have to do any manual tweaking. It's also both compatible with Intel and AMD, so if you did have an Intel build or you wanted to switch to an Intel build, you can do it with this kit. But overall, in terms of the speeds and features, it's going to be a really good fit with the rest of the build. But yeah, if you are trying to save money, I highly recommend going on the used market and trying to find a kit similar to this. Honestly, you can probably find something similar for half off for around $60, which is what I usually see. So I would definitely try to take a look. Okay, so let's get to another expensive part, which is the SSD. Well, the one that I have here is the T-Force Z44 A7Q 1TB Gen 4 drive, but the one I have linked below is the Patriot P410, which is going for $160. But yeah, these prices have gotten really insane. I mean, just 6 months ago, I think drives like this were going for like $70 to $75, and now it's pretty much double. But yeah, for $1,000 build, I really do think 1 terabyte is the minimum. I mean, if you can technically get, 500 gigabytes, but you won't really be able to fit as many games. It's just really sad that we have to see gamers spend $160 to get a 1 terabyte chip that isn't even on the newest gen. But since this is a Gen 4 drive, it will fit perfectly with the motherboard that supports it. So yeah, hopefully the prices of RAM and SSDs kind of go down soon, but it really doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Now, for the case, we have the Corsair 4000D wood, which you can get for $90. Now, just to let you guys know, Corsair did send me this case to try out, but they aren't telling me what to do and they aren't paying me to say anything. Now, besides being a really good case that honestly was one of my favorite cases to build in because of how easy everything was laid out, the main feature of the 4000D was actually the full customization. So basically, you can change everything on this case, from the front panels to the side panels, even the motherboard tray. So the one that it came with, of course, is the wood front panel, which I think looks really sick. But as you guys can see on screen, you can basically change this to whatever you want, and there are a lot of different options. Same for the side panel. Let's say you want to have a full glass window, you can have that. Or if you want to add a triple fan setup on the side, that is also doable as well. And as someone that works with a lot of budget cases in that kind of $50 to $60 range, it was really a pleasure to build in this case. Now, of course, you don't want to just, go out and buy all the front panel options options and all the side panel options. But they did just recently release a website configurator, which you can basically customize this case exactly how you want it and see how it would look. Now, this is really great. You basically get to see what the case looks like before you even get it. But yeah, I really do like this customization. You're basically not locked into one thing, because in the future, you might upgrade your build, you might change some parts, and your case is one of those things that usually you can't change without just getting a new one. But with all these new features, you're basically able to get a refreshed case every single time you want to upgrade. Now, on top of that, Corsair also did send out their RS120 case fans, which I did add into this case. But the 4000D wood already comes with 4 case fans that aren't RGB. So if you don't want to get those, flashing lights, all those kind of light features, you don't need to get this. But for $35, it's a really solid fan kit, and of course works really well with the rest of the build. Now for the power supply, the one that I went with is the MSI Mag A750GL, which you can get for $85. Now the best feature of this power supply is simply that it's fully modular, meaning that you only have to plug in the cables you actually need. And especially with someone that works in a lot of budget builds that usually have a non-modular power supply, it just makes things so much easier. It's also 80+ gold certified and ATX 3.1 compliant. It runs really efficiently, meaning less power goes into wasted heat, which of course is great for temperature, and it's already ready for whatever GPU you might want to upgrade in the future. It also has a 10-year warranty, which I just learned about, which is really great. Basically, for the lifespan of this PC, it's going to work for all of it. Man, I keep forgetting that I can show you guys what this looks like. Yeah, but overall, I actually really like this power supply, and I really do think it fits this build. Okay, so to make sure that I don't forget to show you guys, this is the GPU, of course, which the one that we went here is the Intel Arc B580, which you can get for $310. Now, just like RAM and SSD prices, GPU prices have also gone up as well. This thing was going for around $250 to $260 just a couple months ago, but yeah, there has been a price increase. Besides that, this is still a really solid budget GPU, and the main reason for that is simply the VRAM. You get 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM on a 192-bit memory bus, basically way more VRAM in comparison to the other GPUs in this price range. And this was built specifically for 1440p, and when you're spending $1,000, I really do think 1440p is the right option. Of course, you can still run 1080p if you want, but I really do think this card is great for 1440p. And it also has XeSS, so similar to DLSS, if you're trying to run a harder game, it makes it a lot more playable. And overall, I still think this is a really solid choice, especially with how prices are right now. But yeah, guys, that is the entire PC build, and the total for everything came out to $1,057, which I think is really good. All of the parts in this build work really well together, and you still have a little bit of an upgrade path, even though we are on an older platform. Now, of course, like always, I will show you guys some benchmarks so you guys can see how this PC performs.
incoming. Kill confirmed. We've located the rest of them. Changing max! Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your tag map.
But yeah, guys, that is the entire $1,000 gaming PC build. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out all the links in the description below if you are looking to buy something, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.